So the idea behind this setup is that I wanted to make some faster, darker sounding stuff and not just use dark boxes to make dark sounding music, but that's just kind of how it ended up. And I really love the Ericson's Bassline because it's complex enough that I can get quite a bit done with it. But I'm very into the Lyra 8 as well, and I know that it's hard to find a good use for it in your setup. Like, it's a really cool synthesizer and it sounds great, and all by itself it's a lot of fun to play with. But if you watch anybody's content with the Lyra, it's usually like every once in a while you'll find somebody like interjecting it into like a techno style setup, which is what I'm doing too. So it's not like nothing unique here. But it was what I wanted to focus on was how to actually use it, like how to dial it in while playing live. And I have a little bit of a formula for it right now. And so the idea that I came up with was to use these first 4 oscillators. They're separated. These 2 groups of 4 oscillators have a main pitch knob, but they all have individual pitches as well. But so I tuned these 4 to the same key that the Digitakt is playing in and the DB01 is playing in. And then these 4 are just kind of like for just going, taking advantage of this crazy mod delay. But it sounds nuts, so you can use stuff like this. And just kind of like build up, right? So if we had things like this, and I want to like bring in this bass drum and this bassline synthesizer using the Lyra 8 as a transition. Instead of using the Octatrack to transition, I could use this as a kind of like a build up for it. So I could start off with like a lower tune. So it works really well for doing stuff like that. Sounds like a screaming witch. Agreed. We can go over here and we can play around with this bass line, save the position that it's in, and we can go. It's a good thing to record with the Octatrack. Oh, thank you. I'm still in like, we're still writing here. Let's take this kick out. Do I consider the sound quality of the Octatrack lacking in any way? No. I mean, it sounds great. It sounds like a device that is 10 years older. I don't think it's a big deal, honestly. I think the Octatrack really shines at doing some like really crazy crunchy sounds, and it works really well as a performance mixer. And if you're playing live, like, you're not going to notice the 44.1 to 48K that much. Although I can tell you that if you plug your Digitakt into your computer and do audio over USB and not run it through anything, a mixer or anything, run it through your Octatrack, just into your computer, the sound quality is superb. Like, it is the best you're going to hear your Digitakt, or using Overbridge is probably the best sound you're going to get out of your Elektron boxes. I don't use Overbridge. I know how to use Overbridge just fine. Do I use it that much? No, I don't usually do much on my computer because I do a lot of video editing on the computer, so music kind of takes place out here. But I guess it's kind of a sideways way to answer your question. Will the next iteration of this box that's assuredly going to come from Elektron at some point in the next couple of years, will it sound better than this box? Without a doubt. It'll sound amazing, I'm sure. It'll be at least the Digitakt sound quality plus, amazing effects that we've been missing and dreaming of. Never heard anyone complaining, but I don't have one. Yeah, most producers produce in 41. Yeah, I'm not sure what most producers produce in, but I don't think, if it comes to production versus a band, right? Like, if you talk to a studio mixing, mastering artist, they're like often recording in 192, like 1,000, So they don't want to miss out on any of that bit rate, any of that sample rate. They want it all. And I guess production is a little bit different when it comes to that. We're not trying to capture acoustic instruments and like trying to get every piece of its timbre. So, yeah. Do you feel it has a sound? Will your Prophet 6 sound weird on it? Absolutely not. So the sound right here, that's a Prophet 5. You can't see it behind me, but there's a Prophet 5 behind me. And it's being sampled in the Digitakt. It's running through the Octatrack. No, it's going to sound amazing. Your Prophet 6 is going to sound amazing no matter what you run it through. Prophet 6 is awesome. So, yeah, don't be discouraged by that. I think people get really caught up in like the bit rate and the sample rate and aren't focusing enough on, I'm not saying this is what you're doing, so I'm not trying to call you out or anything, but I think that it happens often that people think they're getting bottlenecked by their bit rate or their sample rate of their device, but the true bottleneck is you. You're the bottleneck usually in your production. And it's not necessarily your skill. Often it's just the bottleneck is that you're in your head too much and you need to just free yourself and just explore and record and not focus so much on that kind of stuff. But again, not saying this is what you're doing. I'm just pointing that out because you brought it to my mind to mention that. Higher sample rate makes very little difference. Yeah. It does, you can notice it if you do a side-by-side comparison, but it is, in the big grand scheme of things, the big difference is going to be what you're putting into your sampler, what your patches sound like, and how well you mix them. And by mix them, I really just mean your volume and your panning. Those two things are like the biggest impact that is going to make in your sound. And then after that, you could just use even a very simple filter, like the Digitakt's new bass width filter that they added to it. I use all of that for mixing on my tracks. So I cut out the low end on my vocal samples. I cut out the low end, part of the low end on my snares. I go in there and make sure that everything fits nicely in the mix and make sure everything's panned in a position that sounds nice, and then it opens the mix up. And that's where I feel like you're going to get the most quality enhancing stuff that's going to happen in your mix as far as hardware goes, is dealing with those things first, just levels. Yeah, people can't even, yeah. Wow, a mate in real life. Are you happy with it and how do you use it? I don't have it set up to plug it in. I'll just, that little graphic. You hear it powering on there. How do I like the mate? I love the mate. This thing is awesome. This is not a mate stream. Maybe I'll do that in the future as I get better with it. I am a tracker user. So this thing was really quite quick for me to come to grips with it. I'll let you hear it through this condenser mic right here. That's through an onboard speaker. And that's the synth engines. And it is a amazing tool. This thing sounds really, really good. It's also in 44.1, you know, speaking of sample rates. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it back off. It's super dope. I recommend you get on that pre-order or waitlist or however Dirty Wave is doing those things and get yourself one because, damn, everybody I show it to is super hyped on it. Okay, so I want to get back to, you know, something educational here. I try and do a little bit of that, a little bit of this. What I have going on the table, I'm gonna start from scratch here, since like it seems like there's actually folks in the stream now that I set it to public instead of the stream was hidden for a minute. Is I have my Digitakt, which is sequencing my Erica Synths bassline. I have the Lyra 8, which is doing kind of like auxiliary synth sound. So this is kind of like background noise. The reason I have the Lyra 8 doing those kind of things is that I really wanted a sound source to do build-ups, but I didn't want to use one of my tracks of my Digitakt just for like risers or something. I don't know. So I use this as my riser machine, as my auxiliary, crazy, weird, you know, sounds. They go really well with this like distorted, detuned bass line sound and these kind of like harder kick drum sounds. Like that sounds like an analog kick, like, you know what I mean? And maybe I don't want to keep that kick. I'm not really sure yet. I mean, I haven't even changed this yet. So like we're still really early in the songwriting. And then lastly, I have the Elektron Octatrack, my precious Octatrack. And I'm using the performance template that I always use, and it's slightly adjusted for this setup. And by slightly adjusted, I mean I just changed, I copied the pattern, moved it to another bank, and then I made one of the through machines A plus B or C plus D actually instead of C and D. So it's two mono inputs. So all of this goes into one input so I can do melodic and synthesis effects on these machines while vocal samples and drums are going into inputs A and B and they are stereo. So I can do stereo effects here and do my panning over here, which is super important to how, like I was saying, to make things sound nice. So I'm writing at 140 BPM, which is not a thing for me very much. I usually write at like that pretty standard 127 like techno style BPM. I just like that rhythm a lot. I like the way it makes my feet tap. And then sometimes I write like really low and like 90. So this is a little out of the ordinary for me, but it's not much different than writing at 127, honestly. And it works really well with aggressive sounds, which is kind of this setup. So let me see what the chat is saying here. Everybody's talking about sample rates. I took a break from making, let's see what Eric Bingham says here. I took a break from making video discussing the structure of a live set using the Octatrack Digitone and Minotaur. And this stream was starting. Funny coincidence. Love what you do. Thanks. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, funny coincidence. Picking up where you left off. Bikers, beers, and beats. Higher sampling rate makes very little difference. It gives you more headroom. However, you cannot hear above 20 kilohertz anyway, and I can't hear above that. So, I mean, I can't hear like around that area anyway because I've like messed up my hearing so much. Sucks the low end. Everything I run in through mode. You know what? I just don't have that experience. But I'll tell you what. I thought I was having... for those that are just tuning in, we were talking about whether the Octatrack affects the sound quality, like versus the Digitakt versus something that's at a higher sampling rate. So this is like an easy topic for people to argue. And like, I could see like people getting frustrated at like, no, it's this way or it's that way. That's totally one of these topics that you would debate about. The Octatrack can have its own timbre when it comes to its effects. Yes, if you run stuff through it, and like by default, a filter comes on all of your tracks when you start a new project, right? And just by default, those filters actually do affect the sound, whether the filter is engaged or not. So you want to have the clearest sound running through your Octatrack, which would make no sense for you to do it this way, because if you're not utilizing the DSP of the Octatrack, which isn't that bad at all, it's great. I mean, I love it. You should just let it color your sound. If you don't like that, if you don't like it coloring your sound, then perhaps, I say this, very delicately, but perhaps it isn't for you. If it does that, if it makes you feel that way, you definitely want to play with gear that inspires you. This inspires me, and its sound inspires me. And I used to have these debates with myself where I would listen to my Digitakt and be like, oh, it sounds better over here than it does over here. And then I would run that into my Octatrack and forget that I was thinking about that. And I would just forget that it sounded better to me that way and just go about my day utilizing my awesome Elektron boxes. So I think it sounds great. That's it. That's my my humble opinion. I think it sounds awesome and it's totally worth using. And I'm excited for the next iteration whenever that happens. Next couple years, I hope. Dear God, I hope. You ordered a Weight but have not received it yet. Oh, Mate Gang, hell yeah. Yeah, I ordered the Mate quite a long time ago, and just got it this week. So I've only had it a couple days. Pretty exciting. I put it out here on the table because I know people want to see it, and they want to see that people are using it, and I want to support the Mate community and Dirty Wave for his hard work on this device, because it is a brilliant machine. But I want to do, but firstly, I want to get through this pattern really quick, and then I'm going to go back to the beginning of the pattern and sort of like see what people think and see what people think I need to add to this to give it some more texture, or like whatever elements are missing. I would love to get people's opinions on that. So I'm going to go back to the beginning here, which is I'm going to put it in my pattern mute mode instead of global mute mode. I highly encourage people who are using the Digitakt to use the Digitakt in pattern mute mode and not global mute mode, because it's a lot safer and it allows you to write songs that are more complex than having to constantly be watching over this. So when I transition to another pattern on the Digitakt, it remembers in the next pattern what elements I want to be muted. In global, it doesn't do that. And just to get there, just so you know, you get through your mute modes by holding function and hitting bank quickly. And then boom, there you are. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the Lyra 8 coming in, which should be tuned to this chord sample. It is. I like that. Snare up a little bit. This gets like super distorted when you add the sub to it. wanted to do something over here. One thing I'm like, that I keep having to like, I'm trying to get used to for myself here, as you can see, like I'm fumbling around because I'm still thinking about what I want to do. Like a lot of the songwriting for me is how can I perform those elements together? So I like the performance and the songwriting thing kind of happens at the same time for me. So as like stumble around, I'm like, oh, now I know what I need to do here. I know what I need to do here. And I'm finding that I keep muting my bass line, which is on here. Oop, I don't need any of these. I keep muting my bass line because it's right next to my kick, and I want to take my kick out all the time to give some like breathing room, but I keep hitting that, and that's frustrating. Or I'm frustrating myself because I keep making that mistake. I'm gonna go back to this pattern. Are you participating in the general shared perception of reality? That was a conversation I was having last night. And turned it into a sample today. But I feel like... Are you participating in the... Maybe I should just have it say, are you participating in the general... Maybe stop it right there. Are you participating? Are you participating in the general... Are you participating? Are you participating? Are you participating? I'm particularly fond of this part, but I want it to be like... Like I want it to be more explosive than it is. Once I have like my hats and my open hats in, it's like you're pretty much there. I mean, I can add my vocal sample. I think I need to add a like maybe a melodic component, or we could try how it sounds with like some sidechain effect. It sounds cool, but it doesn't sound right for this track. I do like that. Are you participating? Are you participating? Nice. Are you participating? Cool. All right, let's go back over here. Well, now you can hear what I've been doing with my kick there. Let's see. No, we're gonna go back here. I'm gonna steal this step and bring it over here. Put it down. Are you participating? Are you participating? Are you participating? That bit reduction. Are you participating? Are you participating? Are you participating? Maybe we don't want to bit reduce it. Maybe this one will be the clear version. Are you participating? Whoa. Are you participating? Are you participating? Tell me. Wow, I made... Okay. It's glorious. Fizzy rave stab is dope with the drums, yeah. Are you participating? Are you participating? Okay, let's make this longer. Are you grab a new... Are you participating? Reality. Are you participating? Are you participating? Are you participating? Play. Are you participating? Are you participating? Are you participating? Okay, cool. Are you participating? Are you participating? Are you participating? Perception. Are you participating? Are you participating? Perception. Yeah, it's very ravey. especially with that. I think it could be louder. Kind of sounds nice with sawtooth rather than square. I'm not sure if it's better or not. What is that? Get out of here. It's like my plant, my synth plant was trying to turn the knob. Okay, let's... Okay, what am I missing? Do we need more melodic content? That sample is making me self-conscious. Thomas. So how many of you folks have Lyra 8s? Because I've had one for a while. I'm getting the most use out of it now that I've kind of like, you know, made some decisions about what to do with it. I can do like this and... I mean, the thing is just nuts. One thing that I found that can be a little frustrating is that if you have the mod delays mix up, you can hear the LFO. So that's a little frustrating. So I've noticed that I keep the volume down, and then when I want to use it, I turn the volume up. Maybe you can't hear it, but I mean, you can see my Octatrack is hearing it. I don't hear it. The Octatrack hears it though. But the Octatrack can hear all sorts of things I can't hear. Yeah, to get that sample, just to talk about it real quick, I'm using just an SM57, which I took off my guitar cab, and I'm running it through a cloud lifter. If you're not familiar with a cloud lifter, it uses your phantom power from whatever device provides phantom power. It's got a little preamp in there, and it bumps the gain of your microphone up. So this gives it more of a condenser mic quality, but I still have more of that dynamic mic range, so I don't have to... I can be a little further away from it, and it will capture it a little better. It actually sounds a little better, too, than just running it into the VT4. And this thing needs a compressor. This doesn't substitute for a compressor, but it definitely helps. If you get one of these and you're using a dynamic mic, you're going to want to use a cloud lifter. Otherwise, you're definitely going to want to use a condenser mic, and it does kind of overload it a bit. I found that this has been the best combo I have used yet to use the VT4. And I do really like the VT4. But I am considering some other devices for vocoding duties. I've considered the Micro Freak. I used to have a Micro Korg. That's a great vocoder. And I'm considering the Waldorf Strikefet. Is it the Strikefet? No, it's not the Strikefet. I'm sorry. It's the string synthesizer and vocoder, but it's got a similar engine as the Strikefet. And it looks really great. It's a big old synth, so I couldn't just like leave it on my table. And I like things that fit on the table here because this is where I make music. This is where I write stuff. I've got some other places that I have music gear set up that's not, you know, in the YouTube camera zone, but I don't really make music in those spots. They kind of just hold things. So a lot of like size defines what I'm going to buy. Which brings me back to the Lyra 8 being one chunky beast, because it weighs a lot. Listen to that. You can hear that, the ding of like, this is some solid metal construction here. I mean, not solid metal, that'd be insane, but yeah, the housing is. But been pretty into it. And like I said, I've been using it as a as a way to transition from one part to another and get that like industrial, dark techno vibe, rather than it being like the main source of music. I think I have this tuned to like some version of like a D minor chord of some sort. I'm not sure. I just did it by ear, and actually that's a better tone for it. But when it just like falls off like that, the decay on the synthesizer itself, like its built-in decay, is so long. I love it. It's so great for transitioning back and forth between tracks. But I do feel like that maybe like a melodic element could be cool here, and I could use it on track 3. We could just grab a single cycle waveform because my sample pool is finally full on this project, and I've been using this same project for about 30 songs now, and like pretty much my entire YouTube channel that has a Digitakt in it is in this project for the most part, except for from like years ago, but the last like year and a half is probably here. So I'm just gonna grab stuff that I've used before, like this, I guess we could use this aliasing square, or let's just grab this sawtooth. Sawtooth never failed me, you know? But I'm actually gonna have to start a new project, and that is, it's pretty intimidating to me to have to start over like that. I think that would be, I wanted it to go a little higher, but I think that's gonna do just fine. Smack it. Yeah. All right, let's see. Feels like slightly out of tune, but I know that like this feels slightly out of tune, but this is not out of tune, which means that this might be slightly out of tune. Yeah, I don't have an LFO doing anything like that. I wish that you could solo on here without a MIDI controller, because you can solo. You can solo on the Digitakt. That's like an actual feature in the manual, soloing tracks, but you need an external device to do it. Bummer, right? I think it's better just with the chords. There we go. Now we're moving. Feeling it now. So I need another element. That's what I'm feeling the most. I'm feeling that I'm lacking another element, and I need to bring something else in. But I feel like the composition is rather full. Like, I don't know what sound I'm missing, because it's definitely not... Definitely not that sound. That might be cool. Let's see. Let's go this here and give it. Actually, that. That's kind of cool. That and bring it back here. Let's get an LFO on that panning. Oh yeah, that's messing with my head a bit. Let's have another LFO go to the bass. Well, let's try this. There we go. That's pretty cool. It's like a nice additional melodic element there that's like not overwhelming the mix. A really heavy bass drum. Okay, now take 2 sounds out. What's up, cuz? Oh, what? Yeah, what's up, my actual cousin? What's up, Chris? Jordan, I'm sorry. What's up, Jordan? That was terrible. Yeah, get Chris in here. That'd be cool. Where that low end? Headphones are fooling you. Came to see the mate, but now I see a Lyra 8. Sweet. Where that low end at? The low... It's just the volume, I think, is gone. Yeah. Let's... You know what? Yeah, let's try it with a different kick. Maybe this... maybe like a... Maybe you're right. Maybe our kick is a little weak. Also, what note am I? Yeah, that is the note I want to hear. Oh, wait a second. Let's just do it this way. Tech kick? Okay, there you go. There's that, fill that low end a little bit. Like this pattern feels a lot more fleshed out than the other one. I'm supposed to start here and move to the next one. Actually, it's a pretty nice vibe to go from that to this. Oh, did I help? Neil, did I fix your low end problem? I feel like that's the vibe. Maybe go lo-fi. now we're getting somewhere. I have an idea. Let's make an alternate bass line. We'll just clone this one. Copy. And let's go over to this one and paste it. And mute this one. We'll just have to remember that they can only play one at a time. Go ahead and turn these things on here that I want. And what channel is it supposed to be on? 15. Okay, channel 15 it is. All right. Hey, 15. Let's take some of this stuff out. The cutoff is, if you want to modulate the cutoff via the Digitakt, you have to use the mod wheel, and that's how you control the DBO one with the Digitakt. And it's all relative. Okay, so 3 and 10, we'll have to remember, those two can kind of play together. Turn that one off, bring that in. Cool, so we're still on pattern 2, but we have a variation now. Well, let's go back to pattern 1. Get out of here. Okay, here we go. Start from scratch. Wait, when we go to pattern 2, we want it to be like that. Have it be like, do we need the tech kick for this too? Techno kick? Oh shit. Ooh, I like that. The chords, the kick, and the snare there. like that. It doesn't work. Should delete that. Okay, here we go. Next pattern. I think to get over to the next pattern, we got to do something. That was like really abrasive. Like that switch did not work for me. You probably agree. That does not work. Randomize the cymbals. Yeah, good call. Yeah, we haven't done much in this category here. Also, I don't know if I pan them yet. I want them panned over the right. And these panned a little bit to the left. Now we can go like this. What happened to my secondary bass line here? Oh, did I do that on? Oh no, we're still on this track, that's why. Okay. We could record this into a 4-bar loop here. Switch over to the 4-bar loop. Now we can go over here and do this. And still on pattern 2. Cool. Nice. I feel like I got some pretty good work done. It's nice to do this kind of stuff on stream because it gets you motivated to actually, like try harder, or just get something done because, you don't want to just mess around the whole time, just playing and tinkering with noises. Anyhow, yeah, so thanks everybody for hanging out. I was actually just going to do this really short because I have a new puppy and me and my partner are taking turns looking after the puppy, and she needs to study for her nursing license. So I'm going to jump off the stream and take over puppy duty. Everyone, thanks for hanging out. Once again, I'm Matthew, aka EZBOT. If you're interested in this kind of content, I do private lessons, which you can find at ezbot.live, and I also have a Patreon, which has my remixer template along with some other goodies and lots of tutorial videos available. So thank you and take care.